It's all about melons today in the sartorial kitchen. That's right, I'm giving the melon a facelift with some fresh new dishes. Kicking things off, it's my prosciutto wrapped cantaloupe. Next, it's a simple tuna salad using cucumber as the bread. Then it's my grilled watermelon salad with feta and balsamic drizzle. And last but not least, honeydew sorbet. So why don't you pull up a chair and dine with me? Sartorial kitchen, everybody. I am just cutting up a melon here because we are all about melons today. And I'm starting off with some honeydew. Nice, fresh, green, juicy. Because we are making a honeydew sorbet. I love sorbets. They're very refreshing, especially in the summertime, spring, early fall. Just lovely. I've got a little scoop here. I'm just going to come in and get these seeds out. The seeds I am going to save. I'm going to dry them out. And I'm going to use them next year to try and get some fruit going in my garden. And I lucked out this year. I've got some melon, watermelon, I've got honeydew, I've got some cantaloupe. Not too many, but this one turned out pretty good. I'm very pleased with it. And I wanted to do a fun episode to show off all the different things you can do with a melon. Because I know a lot of people, when they hear melon, they think of like a fruit salad, or you may see like a wedge of it at like a breakfast, something like that. But there are so many different things you can do with melon. And I've got a Ziploc bag here. I'm going to lay these all out nice and flat. It's going to go in my deep freeze, and when they're nice and frozen, we can put together the sorbet. It's going to be so good. And I love melon. I love a lot of those like summer fruits. And it's nice. You can always go to the store and buy fruit if it looks good. You just kind of want to give it a little tap. If you hear that kind of hollow sound, that means it's not good. You want something nice and firm. But there's just something about homegrown vegetables, homegrown fruits. You just can't beat that freshness. Okay, that is my first half of melon. Right into our Ziploc. And you want a bag that has a nice seal on it, because you want to keep it from getting freezer burnt. I'm just going to set that aside, and we're going to move on to our second half here. Is our second melon into the bag it goes. And I would say we're good to go. I'm just going to kind of press all that air out of here. Like I said, I want to keep this from getting freezer burnt, so we don't want any air in this. And it's going to go in my deep freeze for about 4 to 6 hours till it's good and hard. And then I'll be making a lime simple syrup, and we're going to blend this baby up into a nice frozen treat. And while we wait, we will move on to my cantaloupe and cucumber, so stay tuned. Okay, welcome back everybody. The honeydew is chilling in my deep freeze. I thought we would move on to some fun little hand food appetizer kind of things. So I've got some cantaloupe here that I have already cut up, and it's nice and soft and tender. And I also have some prosciutto that I have just kind of put in the toaster oven here, let it get a little crisp. And you've probably seen prosciutto and melon before. But it is a fun little dish. It's easy to make. It's just a little bit of assembly, and you're good. And what I like about, what I love about this dish is that it's very easy to assemble. It's so simple. I love easy dishes sometimes. You know, if you're planning a big party, anything like that. You want something that's not going to be a lot of work. Okay, so I've got some toothpicks here. That's going to serve two purposes. It's going to help hold the prosciutto around the cantaloupe, and then it's also going to give somebody something to kind of pick it up with. What's great about the prosciutto, it's nice and like fatty, and has some saltiness to it as well. So it's really great with the cantaloupe, because you have the cantaloupe, it's sweet, it's a little kind of rich, so it's nice to, it's a nice balance of flavors. It gives you kind of a nice savory component, and then the fattiness kind of cuts through the sweetness of the fruit. I just love, whenever I'm doing parties or anything like that, I love having just little bites people can kind of nibble on. Nothing fancy, just nice little kind of snack. Okay, so that is prosciutto and melon. Now you're probably thinking there's a whole other side of the plate here, because I have one more little side kind of appetizer thing I want to show you guys, and that is a fun little tuna salad, but I'm using an unexpected melon as the bread. Okay, so let's talk tuna salad. I'm making just a simple tuna salad here, basic tuna salad recipe. So I've just got 1 can of tuna here. I don't mind canned tuna for tuna salad, because by the time you add all your flavorings, you really can't tell the difference between fresh and... I mean, the texture might be a little different, but we're going to be adding lots of fun things to change up the texture. So you just want to make sure you drain it really good, though, because if there's any water left in here, it's going to make your dressing runny. That's no fun. Okay, so that's 1 can of tuna. This is just Star-Kissed chunk-like tuna. That's what I like anyway. And then I've already got a couple tablespoons of pickle relish. That is pickle relish out of my garden. I have a hard-boiled egg here, which I have already peeled. And then I'm just going to take my knife here and kind of chop this baby up a little bit. Just cut it into quarters and chop it again. Again, we want the salad to have some texture, so I'm not cutting it into too small of pieces. I actually want it to have some kind of big chunks to it. So that's pretty good. We'll just dump that right in. Alright. Of course, with any great salad, you need some salt and pepper. So about a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, and some mayonnaise. You can't have tuna salad without mayonnaise. I'm just gonna get a couple generous dollops here. Not an exact measurement, but it'll do. And then I just come in with my spoon here and just kind of fold it all together. And what I love about tuna salad, you get all these fun colors. You get the green specks of the relish. This is a hot relish, so there's a little bit of pepper in there too. You don't want too much mayonnaise. You want it to be kind of firm. You don't want it to be too runny. So I think this is a pretty decent consistency. And this recipe, it works good with chicken too, if you want to do like a chicken salad or even like a ham salad. If you ever get like that cubed ham. I like that sometimes as well. Now, for the cucumber, we're just going to cut through the ends here and score it all the way across. Ta-da! Now you're probably thinking, cucumber, that's not a melon. Well, technically cucumber is a fruit because the seeds are on the inside and it has melon-like qualities, as you can see the ribbing through the middle here where the seeds are. Now I'm just going to get a paper towel here. Spoon real quick. We're going to come through here And we're going to scoop out the innard of our cucumber. You want to get all those seeds out. You don't have to go too deep. You want to leave pretty much of it, but you just want to get kind of hollow it out. So it should be kind of like a little boat or canoe. And then we'll do the same thing to this guy here. All the way through. I'm just going to lay these on the plate and come in here, and I'm just going to spoon that salad right across. A nice, generous helping of salad. I want every bit of this to have some nice salad. And come in here, finish off the rest of this. Now you could eat it just like that, but since I'm putting together a little platter here, I thought we would cut it into little segments. And then it would kind of be like having your own little mini sandwich. And there you have it. Prosciutto wrapped melon and tuna salad with cucumber. And the other thing I like, this cucumber is kind of like a keto thing, which has become like a big to-do lately. Replacing bread with vegetables. So, you know, sometimes it's good to be trendy in the kitchen. But I want you to just look at this. You can see all the different textures of our filling. And then you've got that cucumber. It just makes a nice, cute little bite of food. So let's go ahead and give it a nice little taste here. Mmm. Mmm. So good. Absolutely amazing. You get that crunch from the relish and the cucumber, and then the tuna. You know, who doesn't like tuna? And that dressing, just the right amount of salt and pepper. So good, so much fun. Okay, now for the melon. What I love about this, especially when it's ripe melon, you bite into that melon, and you're immediately hit with just that juiciness, and it's nice and sweet, but it has kind of like a nice rounded flavor to it, and then you get the crunch of that prosciutto. It's nice and salty and fatty, and it just dances on your palate. Absolutely love it. And your guests are going to love it too. So I have one more dish to show you before we finish our sorbet, and that is a grilled watermelon salad. So stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome back. We're moving on to my grilled watermelon salad, and I know what you're thinking. Grilled watermelon, trust me, it adds a lot of flavor to the watermelon. Don't get me wrong, I love watermelon as it is, a little sprinkle of salt, but this is really like going to enhance that watermelon. So we're just going to come in here with our knife, and this melon, it's not a huge melon, but you know, I can only do what I can do out there. But I'm pretty excited. It's got some great color. It's got some great heft to it. And I'm just bringing my knife in here. I'm going to slice right down the middle here. Beautiful. And this is a seedless variety. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to cut this in half again. Alright, and this one's different. It doesn't have like the black seeds like you're used to. It just has kind of the little white seeds. And then I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to cut some wedges. Nice generous size wedges. I've got a stovetop kind of grill pan going here. They're really good out on the grill. You get that kind of smokiness. I have a flat top grill, so I thought it would be better to do this. I want to get those kind of marks on it. Okay, that's pretty good. Our pan is getting nice and hot. Now what I want to do, I'm going to take some towels here and blot these guys. They're pretty juicy. And what that, I don't want them too wet because that's going to cause them to burn in the skillet when those juices hit. So I'm just going to take a paper towel here and kind of squeeze on these a little bit. I don't want to take all the juice out because I don't want them to kind of dry out. I just want them to be nice and soft. And you're just going to put that right into the skillet. Listen to that sizzle. I love those sounds in the kitchen. One more piece here. I think I can fit 4 at a time here in my skillet. Give these babies a flip. They smell amazing. And we'll flip that over and look at that. You see those wonderful grill marks from the pan there, and then you've got that caramelization. That's exactly what we're looking for. And that was just about maybe about 3 minutes. And then we're just going to let the other side go ahead and cook down. And that melon gets, because I know melon's kind of soft, but it's still it maintains its firmness. Pull these babies off the grill. Whoops. They're a little slippery. Oh, these smell so good. I'm just going to kind of lay them out. And then we'll put the rest of our watermelon in. These pieces are a little smaller, so I think I can get them all in one batch. A little tight. I think we've got it. And I just want to kind of arrange these. I'm going to kind of stack them in a nice little kind of procession. Flip the last of our watermelon here. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? I love that caramelization. It's going to add a nice kind of bitter flavor to our melon here. It's going to be so good. And then we're just going to let it cook a little on the other side here for about another minute and a half. And we'll be ready to finish plating our salad. Our melon looks pretty good here. I'm going to turn it off. And I'm going to continue to plate up here. And I just want to kind of arrange them. I want the rind side up because that's going to give you something to kind of grab a hold of. I've got 2 more pieces here. Beautiful. Okay. Now you could eat it just like this. I'm half tempted to. But I've got a couple other things here. Some feta cheese and some balsamic vinegar. What I love about the feta cheese, because you know salt and watermelon and salt go together beautifully. Well, feta is nice and salty, and it adds a little bit of fat, so it kind of cuts through the sweetness. So we're just building all kinds of layers of flavor here. And I'm just going to take, I went ahead and got some crumbled feta. You can get the block if you want and crumble it yourself. I just figured this would be easier. I'm just going to sprinkle it all over the top of my melon here. I'm only going to need about half of this container. Beautiful. And I just want to sprinkle a little pepper to further that kind of savoriness. Just some fresh pepper. And then we have our balsamic vinegar. I'm just going to drizzle a little of this over the top. Oops. Just a little drizzle. Just enough to kind of let you know it's there. Okay. And there you have it. Grilled watermelon salad. Is that not amazing? And I love the smell of that balsamic when it hits the hot melon. Amazing. Okay, I'm going to come in here and just grab a nice piece. Make sure we get all the components there, and just look at those grill marks once again. Ah, so exciting. Okay. Mmm. 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 Guys, out of this world. Immediately you get the saltiness of the feta. Mmm. Mmm. You get the crunch of that watermelon, so it's still nice and firm. But there's that bitterness from the grill pan, and the balsamic really enhances that, and just that little bit of pepper just kind of set everything off. Amazing. And a perfect little side to go with our other dishes. So, stay tuned. We're going to finish our honeydew sorbet. Okay, welcome back, guys. We are finishing off our honeydew sorbet. So I'm just working on a simple syrup here. It's equal parts water and sugar, a cup each. And you don't want the water to boil. You want to go on a low heat, and just long enough for that sugar to dissolve. I'm just stirring that now to help that sugar dissolve. I've pulled my honeydew out of the freezer, and it is solid as a rock. That's what we want. I've also got some limes here, because this is going to be a lime simple syrup. And this is the easiest recipe. And you can do it with any fruit. You just need some frozen fruit, simple syrup. Blend it up, throw it in the deep freeze for about 4 to 6 hours, and you've got sorbet. Okay, so the limes here, I'm just going to run my knife down. And we're just going to squeeze that right into our simple syrup. I've got 2 limes. I need the juice of 2 limes. I want this to have lots of nice flavor. That lime's going to really punch everything up, give it a nice freshness. It's going to add a nice little tartness to the sweet honeydew. Okay, so that's 2 limes. And just before this looks like it's about to boil is when it's done. You want to take it off the heat. When you see that that sugar is good and dissolved. Alright, that's pretty good. Alright, rinse my hands off here. That sugar is good and dissolved, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the heat here. And those limes smell amazing. I wish you could smell what's going on here. So I've got my food processor here. Where would I be without it? And I'm just going to kind of do this in batches. So we're gonna start, I guess about half of this here, and then I'm gonna pour in about half of my simple syrup, because it's not all gonna fit in here at once. I wish I had a bigger unit, but we make do with what we have. And you're just gonna give it a pulse. Alright, let's give this a look. I think that is perfect. Okay, I've got a little container here, and I'm just going to pour that right into here. And then it's going to go in my deep freeze. I got one more batch to make. Alright, and the rest of my melon, and the rest of my simple syrup. Perfect. And give it a nice pulse. Alright, that is it for our second batch. I've got another container here. Now, what's great about this, it makes a great frozen cocktail too. So if you don't want to wait for the sorbet, grab a bottle of vodka, grab a bottle of tequila even, some white rum, and just have at it. But I want wanted to do something I could preserve, this can go in my deep freeze, and I can get it out when I feel like a cool treat. So that fills, that just about fills 2 containers here. But of course, you know I want to give it a little taste before I put it up. Just come in here and get a nice little spoonful. And you can see it has a nice sort of applesauce-like consistency. Oh. It's sweet, but it's not too sweet. The honeydew's a little sweet, but then the lime kind of breaks through that. So good. Cool, refreshing, perfect for a hot day. Alright, I'm going to finish cleaning this up and we are going to move on. Alright, last but not least, I have got my honeydew sorbet. It has gotten nice and hard. I'm just going to get some of this out. This has just been in my deep freeze for about 4 hours. It's just gotten nice. It's almost like a slush or an Italian ice. Just go ahead and get some of this out here. Yum. And there you have it, honeydew sorbet. Now, like I said before, if you don't want to freeze it, it makes a great mixer. But here we go. It's smooth. It's sweet, but it's not too sweet. You get a little punch from that lime. Just kind of cuts through the sweetness. And then you get that bright, fresh kind of honeydew flavor. So good. Perfect treat for a nice hot day. Okay, so that was melon. Thanks for joining me again in the kitchen. As always, like and subscribe at the bottom, and until next time, bon appetit.